Hi, I wanted to talk about Lilith a little bit um, because Lilith is in very early stages of Aries, the early degrees of Aries. She's just gone into that first sign of the zodiac, so she's starting a brand new cycle, brand new 9-year cycle. Pretty exciting. Now, Lilith, so confusing, right? Which is interesting. Why is that? But anyway, so confusing. I'm not talking about the asteroid Lilith. I'm not talking about true Lilith. I am talking about the mean Lilith, as in medium, not as in mean. The mean Lilith, because this is the point that I've been working with for years and that I find actually has some significance astrologically in people's charts, in your natal chart, and by transit. Now, you probably know this already, but it's worth repeating that Lilith was the first wife of Adam, cast out of the Garden of Eden for her because she didn't want to submit to Adam, as far as we can tell. This is according to Jewish Apocrypha. Now, sometimes in astrology, the mythology is relevant, and sometimes it's not. That's another video. But in the case of Lilith, it does seem that some of her mythology as a sort of demoness in the dark outer spaces, the outcast, does seem to be very relevant to how she works astrologically, which I find quite fascinating, as a matter of fact. So she does appear very strongly in charts when there's something about the loss of children or childlessness or terminations. She appears when there has to do with abuse sometimes. She appears to be she's in very strong sometimes in the charts of feminists, of well-known feminists. She was involved very much with the beginning of Me Too when that started. You know, Rose McGowan has a really strong Lilith, for example. Germaine Greer has a strong Lilith. So, you know, she's strong in that kind of chart. She's also strong in the charts of sexual predators, which I find quite interesting as well. Because, you know, astrology works on a kind of polarity. You have two extremes. So you have the victim and the murderer may have quite similar charts, for example. And the same applies with this Lilith. Anyway, that's all a bit dark and brooding. But Lilith is also a point of liberation, of wildness, of the love of the wild, of the love of freedom, of um, breaking free of the bounds of civilization. She's kind of opposite to Pallas Athena in that way. And we all have Lilith inside us, and we all need to encounter her and express her in some way, because the more you suppress your Lilith, uh, the more she will come out in unexpected and maybe harmful ways. So she's also the darker side of our nature, or the hidden, the suppressed, the shadow. And we all know that we have to come to terms with our shadow. Having said all that, I'm kind of excited and interested to see how she behaves in Aries this time around, because she's going to be making there's a lot of contacts with planets as she's going through Aries. There's a lot of action going on, and Aries is a sign that's about action. You know, it's about truth. It's about straightforwardness. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Lilith comes out. Now, obviously, if you're in Aries or Libra, or if you have a lot of planets in those signs, this is very significant for you. And also, by the way, if you are a Capricorn or Cancer, it's very significant. I think particularly Cancer, you know, may all come, um, uh, well, actually, yeah, it may all come out. Um, your Lilith may be very evident to see, or Lilith may be very evident in your life if you're one of those signs. But for all of us, this is a new beginning of the Lilith cycle. And this dark feminine power has been rising. We saw Lilith rising when she was going through Capricorn. You know, it's striding through the corridors of power. You know, that was when the Me Too movement was really starting, coming to the fore. And, you know, a lot of people argue, and I think I would be one of them, that we need more feminine power in the world. We need to be more in touch with the wild feminine. And it'll be interesting to see how that works out while Lilith is in Aries until October.